Hey, collective. So, I wanted to talk about something that's been on my mind. I've been trying to do that occasionally in between readings, in between my collective readings, in between my personal readings, just kind of share with you some of my personal thoughts. Okay. I was thinking about this the other day, and it's something I've been thinking about. Um, but I want to give advice for people who are oversharers. And I say this because I used to be an oversharer. Like, I think a lot of times I think out loud. So I talk about the things that I'm going through in the moment before I've even truly processed them myself. And so I have learned over time, I don't do that anymore. I don't overshare. I don't talk. I don't talk to people about stuff anymore. I just don't. At least not until I'm ready to. I don't talk to people until I've fully processed my own thoughts and emotions on the subject, whatever that may be. Um, but many a time I would think out loud and then I would instantly regret later on, like, oh God, why did I say all this stuff? Because I kind of think differently about it today. Like you're in a different energy than you were the day before, or you've thought about it a little longer and you have a new perspective. And so I think as someone who is formerly very open, and I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with that. I'm really proud of the fact that I'm really open. Like, I'm truly an open book. I mean, go ahead and judge me, right? I don't care. I have good days, I have bad days. Sometimes I'm messy Mel. Aren't we all? Aren't we all a little messy sometimes? Like, we're all not always going to be in our best energy. We're all going to make mistakes. We're all going to fuck up sometimes. And I guess to me, the good thing in it is that the good part about sharing with others is that you let other people know they're not alone. Like, we've all been there. We've all been there, okay? But I've definitely learned as a general rule that if you're going through something and it's a difficult thing that you're trying to process, don't talk about it to everyone and their brother. Like, just wait. Let it marinate. Let yourself marinate in it a little bit, okay? Before you start sharing your thoughts and feelings, because I have found that sometimes I don't often know exactly how I feel yet. I'm kind of going through the ebb and flow of the emotions. And so I guess what I'm saying is sometimes it's important to, instead of going through the ebb and flow of emotions out loud, go through them inside. And then when you want to spill, when you're ready, then you can let the floodgates open. But that's just a little piece of advice I want to give you, because I realized I do that a lot. I've done that a lot throughout most of my life, especially during really hard times in my life. I just tend to overshare. I don't, in the moment, I'm like, I'm not caring about what somebody's thinking about me. Are they judging me for this? It's just me wanting to kind of unload it, like kind of put it on somebody else. What are your thoughts? But I don't think that's always the best idea. And that's just a conclusion that I've come to. Um, I have found that it is much better when I keep to myself a little bit more and process things by myself. Um, because as much as I hate to admit it, I'm sure there are people who have judged me for the things that I've talked about or the things that I've shared. Um, and so I guess just kind of looking back on that, like being a little retrospective, I have learned that lesson, don't. And then the other thing is, I always feel like when you're talking through those things that are really hard for you, there's always bits and pieces, maybe large bits and pieces, that the other person isn't privy to, hasn't been exposed to. So how could they possibly understand? Right? I don't know. Just a thought I was having. Let me know in the comments if you're this way, if you understand what I'm trying to say. I'm having a hard time communicating today. I don't know what that's about. Like, I'm usually very good at explaining how I feel, and I would say this entire week. What are we? We're on Thursday. We're Thursday. Almost this entire week I've had trouble communicating. So I feel like that is an overall theme for a lot of the people in my collective. Um, It's not being able to communicate as effectively as you would like. Of course, we had that full moon recently. So usually I notice the week before the full moon, the week of, and even the week after, it's still a little volatile for me. I'm not as together during that time. But anyway, just my thoughts. Love you guys.